So one of the main things that I come upon anytime I'm instructing, or I see some people that really tell me, oh man, I want to go to the gi, but I just don't want to get my ass kicked, because they're either, whether they're a white belt in no-gi, or they're a blue belt in no-gi, or maybe they're a black belt and they just never fought in the gi. It's intimidating, because you could be an amazing practitioner in no-gi, but when you go to the gi, some holes come apart, right? Like, because they're gripping your pants, they're gripping positions. The cloth grips are very, very, very intimidating. If you're a leg lock specialist, you can't reap. So that instantly turns you off to like doing gi. And so like those things will make somebody who just does no gi be like, man, fuck the gi. And that's not what I really think it should be. It is intimidating, but getting comfortable doing those things are going to make it a lot easier for you to train in all formats, whether it's cloth dependent or not, and also any rule set, because it is like a different rule set you go into. Okay. And there's also movements that you learn in the gi that are more specific that you can then take and then translate it to no-gi. The same way, no-gi to gi. A lot of people are intimidated by this, with the main thing being the grips. Okay. Somebody can grip you and you don't know how to grip them back, and you start freaking out. Okay. It will never be an easy thing to transition to one or the other, but I'm here to tell you that it's easier than you think, right? The whole structure of it doesn't change completely. The structure changes the same. It stays the same, but it doesn't go to a point where like, oh, if I do no-gi, I can't ever do gi. Or if I do gi, I can't ever do no-gi, okay? Another thing is, it's easier for gi guys to come out of the gi, because they still have all their jiu-jitsu. And the only thing they really got to worry about is pretty much leg entanglements, because for the most part, the gi jiu-jitsu is pretty sound in the fundamentals and the way they teach it for the most part. And for no-gi, it's not like that, right? So it's the cloth changes a lot of things, but then it doesn't, okay? So yes, it's intimidating, but hopefully, again, like I said in the previous part, we're going to go through this instructional, and I'm going to simplify it enough so that it makes it a little bit more simpler for you, and you feel a little bit more comfortable going to learn and understanding just like the basic core concepts of, what's happening with the controls, because not a lot of things happen. And again, we're going to go through it, but most people are intimidated because they don't want to get their ass kicked in the gi. It's really what it comes down to. It's like they're more like, okay, they don't want to get their ass kicked, or they know leg locks and they can't do leg locks, so it's not good. One of the main things to remember is that like doing IBJJF legal leg locks gets your leg locks on point, so that when you go no-gi, it's much easier. Okay, so getting them cleaner, it opens up new things, and it provides you to be able to do your straight foot locks a lot better than your twisting foot locks. Okay, so if you go around and somebody gets in their head like, oh, I don't do this for this reason, and it's just because they just really don't want to get their ass kicked, or they're like trying to be like, oh, well, it doesn't fit my style, or whatever it is. It's all bullshit, right? It's just jiu-jitsu. It's all the same things, right? We're going to take it and we're going to simplify it so that it's not a big deal if you want to go to no-gi. So don't get it confused with all this other stuff or all the excuses I've heard. Anyone should be able to do both. If you're good at jiu-jitsu, you should be able to do some cloth-dependent stuff. And if you're good at jiu-jitsu, you should be able to do some non-cloth-dependent stuff, period. Okay, so again, we go through this instructional, and I hope it's going to help you out.